Two hikers found a creepy statue in a cave, and what happens next is terrifying. What might that be? Read on to find out, dear viewer. Buckle up your seatbelts, ghost junkies, because you're in for quite the ride. In January 2016, Reddit user Wigged Hikerthway, later identified as Danny, posted a frantic story in the r-paranormal subreddit. He asked for help on behalf of his friend who was seemingly being haunted by a malevolent spirit. The two friends had gone hiking in the Catskills days earlier and stumbled upon a creepy statue in a cave. When Danny's friend took the statue home, all hell broke loose. The wood-carved statue had nails in its eyes and a noose around its neck. At least that's what Danny had described in his post. He thought it looked fairly old and shared that he got bad vibes from it. Although he urged his friend not to take the statue, fearing it had something to do with rumored devil worshipping in that area, his friend went against his advice and removed the statue from the cave. This is where all the sane moviegoers would be shouting, "Don't do that, you moron," but you know, some of us just aren't that smart, just like his friend. A couple days later, my friend calls me and tells me that he thinks the statue is haunted because it keeps moving from its spot and he keeps smelling weird stuff, Danny wrote. Says he can't sleep at night because banging keeps waking him up. Now last night someone knocked on his door but no one was there when he opened it. He's super weirded out. He thinks he has a ghost because of the statue. In an edit of his original post, Danny wrote that the knocks and bangs only got worse. By Wednesday, he started waking up in the middle of the night, feeling like someone was watching, Danny said of his friend. Every time he'd wake up, he would smell a really strong scent like pond water. Later that same week, the friend heard a random knock on the door at 3 a.m. When he answered, he instantly felt regret and that he needed to leave the house. When he returned, muddy, barefooted prints were everywhere within his home. The statue had moved itself to the living room, and as his friend approached it, he heard breathing. Danny's friend ended up seeking refuge at Danny's house, although many people in the comments offered solid advice. Bring it back to the cave, definitely, don't burn it, or offer the ghost demon rum or tobacco, which is definitely the best solution here. Danny and his friend decided to send a statue to one Reddit commenter who offered to place it in his paranormal and occult museum. They saw a way out and took it. However, the story doesn't stop there. Before I continue, I'd just like to remind you to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell right now. If you do, comment Notification Squad and we'll reply to all of you with a thank you. And if not, well, you'll see. About 6 months later, another post popped up to the r-paranormal subreddit. This one was called, "Remember those hikers who found the cursed statue in the Catskills cave last year? I'm the guy they sent it to. And yeah, it's definitely haunted by something nasty." Oh well, with a title like that, I'm certain that nothing out of the ordinary happened, and everyone came to the perfectly rational conclusion that the statue is just that, a statue. Totally. I mean, come on guys, nothing paranormal going on here, right guys? I mean, right? Now, this post was written by Greg Newkirk, owner of the Traveling Museum of the Paranormal and Occult. In his post, Newkirk confirmed that the statue, which he nicknamed the Crone, which is actually a pretty cool name honestly, is absolutely haunted with a violent entity. Within hours of the statue arriving at his place, it pulled Jesus off a crucifix hanging on the wall. Now that's just mediocre, demon. Come on, step your game up. Either way, he continued with, "It also was the cause of phantom knocks, wet footprints on my couch, and we even caught it moving with a motion-activated camera," Newkirk wrote. He linked readers to a 2016 blog post he wrote on his website, Week in Weird, all about the crone and the odd activity surrounding her, including an update from Danny, who went MIA on Reddit after sending the statue to Newkirk. Newkirk said that Danny confessed in an email that he and his friend had seen a full-bodied apparition just before deciding to rid themselves of the statue. They saw a haggard old woman dripping wet standing hunched in the corner of the friend's living room. Danny wrote that he and his buddy didn't stick around to confront whatever the thing was. Similar to what Danny's friend had experienced, Newkirk found his own home in chaos after letting the crone in. He ultimately decided to keep the crone in the padlocked box to dull the poltergeist activity. Newkirk and his wife Dana initially brought the crone with them on their paranormal travels, only allowing patrons to view and not touch her. Still, museum goers reported smelling stagnant water, feeling a burning sensation in their eyes, and other odd phenomena while in her presence. However, in July of 2017, Newkirk wrote an update post explaining that he and Dana were forced to retire the crone after a rash of frightening incidents which saw rampant sickness, freak car accidents, and even seizures occur to those who had come in direct contact with the haunted object, even though it remained strictly on a no-touching list. As of February, the crone is still in Newkirk's possession, yet has remained in retirement from the traveling show. Newkirk mentioned in his July 2017 update that he intended to return the crone to her cave, but he seemingly isn't done investigating the haunt attached to her. Is this all a bunch of hoopla? Perhaps. For the more rationally minded of us, we conclude that this is all just a coincidence or confirmation bias, and those of us who just want a peace of mind might just, go with that. But stories like these can make you quite terrified. Either way, this story is ended. Why not click on one of the 2 videos up above, or else perhaps the crone will visit you in the night. Sleep well.